Equal opportunities to all, bridging the gap between big and small. Equal opportunities to all, bridging the gap between big and small.
Susie, if possible. Yeah.
Okay. So if you're joining us now, welcome. We know there was an issue with the link that perhaps you were clicking on one that didn't bring you here. We're working on it, and we'll have the updated. But as far as I know, it's in the back office and it's under the one Chris posted. Correct, Chris? Yours is working? Yes. The one under Chris's post under upcoming webinars. Click on that one, or tell your people, well, if you clicked on it, you're here, or you got the right link. But please share with as many people as you can to make sure that they get on. We're going to get started when Ash comes on. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to all the new founders. As you know, the foundership is ending very, very soon. And there's been a lot of founders that have joined us. We went over the 1,400,000 just the other day. So congratulations to those of you who made the right decision jumping on board as a founder with this company. Would like to welcome you and welcome all the wonderful founders across the globe who are here every time we have a webinar, in the chat, cheering each other on. We really appreciate all of you. Appreciate all of you out there that have taken the bull by the horns and have educated yourself, learning more and more things and teaching other people and participating in the webinars, getting in and asking questions about products. That's what it's all about. It would be so boring, you know, without all the different personalities, all the different countries, all the different people that make it Onpassive. So welcome, 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 everybody. This is our roundtable, but it started at 4 instead of 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And it's round 2 of having leaders ask questions to our CEO, Ash Mufareh. He'll be joining us soon. And we're going to start where we left off last Monday. As you know, last Monday, it was a 5-hour webinar where Ash freed up all this time to be able to talk to us and to be able to answer any questions people may have had. And it was great. It's recorded. It's in the back office. And also under updates, leaders, there were some very, very well done notes by Dan Street and Janet Butler. That is not an easy task. And we appreciate them doing. Dan and Janet, their hands were probably tired. Okay, so it looks like
I turned off the chat.
Okay, great.
Mr.
So the chat's off. Yep. And Julie, I will need your help, if you don't mind, where we will be pinning the speaker.
Yes. Yes. If I may, I'm going to be pinning Mr. Mufareh and the speaker. And if you're currently watching and you want to hear the speaker and Mr. Mufareh, please set it as speaker view. And if you want to see everyone, then you can leave it as a gallery view on your computer, on your screen. So I will be pinning the speakers today. I will do that, Susie.
Okay, love you for that. I see Tony Monk is here. I just changed your name, Tony, to your correct name. You must have had a link. I said, that's not Ron. So I got you all set, Tony. You're going to be our first person once we have Ash kick this off. And I'll just, it's not used to having so many people on the screen. Hi, who's that?
And I'm going to lower all the hands. I will continue to do that. We are not bringing attendees to the panels today. So if you could please lower all your hands. I'm going to do that right now on my end.
Okay. And I know when Ash is ready, he'll tell me he's ready. So in the meantime, I'll give just a few more instructions to the panel. Thank you for everyone who's joined us today. Thank you, Marty, Julie, and Chris. I believe you guys were instrumental on putting this together to get the panel on here. We appreciate that. We know that that takes coordination. So thank you very, very much. Today is part 2 of leaders asking questions to our CEO. Last week, there was about 5 hours of the webinar, and we're back today to follow up with some people who were not able to get their question asked. So we're going to circle back. We're going to go with the people who haven't asked yet, and then we'll circle back to others should we have time. Mike Ellis, I see your hand up. Did you want to add anything, or are you just waiting in line?
No, I have a quick question. I have a quick question for Daryl Cook. He's our resident pro with Academy. And my question is, if you know what a SCORM comprehensive file is it compatible with Academy? And if you can't answer it, I'll ask Ash. Daryl?
You'll need to ask Ash.
Okay, I kind of thought so. I know the SCORM comprehensive file. It's just the way the content is organized and put together. And I just need to know if it's if it's compatible with Academy. Now I know you can answer me, Susie.
Yeah.
What's the answer?
What's the answer for what?
For a SCORM comprehensive file.
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay, I'll ask Ash. Thank you.
Or you? Yeah, he'll probably know. But
well,
yeah,
he
I
will.
know I look like I know everything, but there's a few things. Let's just be honest.
Now, Red is the next one I go to. He's our Q&A guy.
Yeah.
I don't even know what a SCORM is, to be honest. Sounds like
I don't either.
Sounds like bees.
Yeah, a swarm of bees.
There it is.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks,
guys.
Okay,
Mike. Good to see you, Mike. So anyway, back to today. We're going to be the round 2, where there's people who have been invited on the panel who did not get to ask their question last week. Ash has been gracious enough to come back and spend some time with us so that those questions can be asked. And then if there's time at the end, some other people who may have asked last week, if there's more questions, we'll get round to you. We have asked that everyone mute themselves, but be ready when it's time for you to be called on to speak. Make sure you know where that unmute button is. We'll be starting off today with Tony Monk, because he was the last one last week that didn't have the opportunity to get on. So we'll start with Tony and we'll take it from there. Keep in mind that you do not want to ask personal questions, nor do you want to ask support questions. These are questions, any question you have about Onpassive or the business. Ash has opened himself to answer any of those questions for us, and we appreciate it. Keep in mind, this will be recorded and it will be in the back office. We need founders to get the word out, to encourage everyone to keep engaged in the back office as much as possible. That's where you're going to have updates and information. The foundership is ending in another day, so things are going to start happening quickly. So it's time to buckle up and get ready for that. Also, tomorrow's our last last Let's Bless Our Loved Ones guest webinar. We're graduating tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I will be posting that like I always do. Send your guests, because I will be saying you only have hours to become a founder, and then the foundership is ending. Also keep in mind the YouTube channels to be plugged into. Marty, Red, Chris, and they're live almost every day. That's where you can get good, accurate, solid information. And then on Wednesday is the classic OP 360 with those 3 gentlemen who get on. They add so much value, teaching us things. I know I've learned things I didn't know before. I find them very enjoyable, easy to listen to. They keep it in a nice format where it's kind of like one after the other. And it's generally, a half an hour, 40 minutes, and a lot of good nuggets in there. Okay. And they usually announce what's happening throughout the week as well. So who's taking notes today?
We got Peter, we got Dan, we got Daryl Cook, we got Janet, we got Red. I really wanted to also shout out to Red for every time when he come on to the round table, he always jumped on and really focusing on answering questions in the Q&A. So kudos to you, Red. Thank you for being the king of Q&A.
Thanks very much, Julie. Actually, I've got a night off tonight because there's no Q&A button today. Woohoo!
Oh my goodness.
How cool is that? I can sit back, relax. Fantastic.
Wow. That's great.
You know, while we are waiting for Mr. Mufareh to come on, let's have some shout out to some of the leaders. And I know that we are going to, you know what? I just got a note. And so we're good to go.
Ash is ready and we're ready to see him. So Ash, welcome. We're going to start the recording. Marty?
Recording in progress.
Okay, welcome everyone. It's Susie McCrae, and you're here today for a Founders Only Roundtable. However, it's a little different today. It's round 2 of Leaders Ask, and they're going to Leaders Ask Ash. So we're going to take over from where we left off last week. And our CEO has given us some time today. He's going to be here to open up to ask any question you want about Onpassive in the business. Please do not ask personal questions, and please do not ask any support questions or specific support questions. We appreciate that. After we're done going through the people who did not have an opportunity last week, if the time allows, and there's people on today that want to come on and ask an additional question, that will be fine. Keep yourself muted until you're called upon to ask your question. And please limit it to one question or one comment, just to be mindful to allow other people to be on to ask their questions. Okay, Ash, are you ready?
I am. How are you? And how's everybody doing?
Good. Fired up.
Always good to see you, Susie McCrae. Thank you so much. And
You're welcome.
Thank you, Julie, and all those leaders who are here. I'm going to do the shout out for you today. All right, let's start. We have a few thousands to call now. Well, let's just do it this way. Hello and welcome each and everyone, to all of you, to all the founders that are listening live and those who will probably get the recording. I appreciate your time. It's a great day in America and all over the world as well, because it's an Onpassive day. It's a meeting where we get to progress and proceed further to a higher level of purpose for all of us, to a more meaningful, a new life. It is definitely a new life for all of us. Yesterday was Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the dads, Onpassive daddies, and to the fathers of Onpassive, all of the leaders, including women. Today is not Juneteenth, but also it's the Refugees International Day. I learned that there are 100 million refugees. They got some sort of suffering from being displaced from their homes, or in many occasions their nations completely. Roughly 50 million of them, half of them, are children. And I got to learn there are 200,000 US, just in the USA alone, children that lost their both parents during the pandemic, which is just 2 years. So we do have a lot of work to do, and Onpassive is seemed like the only positive, genuine force in that direction. In fact, we just finished one of our discussions now. The reason we are doing this at 4 o'clock, we had to finish a meeting in Dubai, and the concept is, oh, kids, okay? it's a bigger, much broader concept that I cannot go into details. It's in the early stages, but definitely something that adds more work, more responsibility on our shoulders, and I will be honored to share with you as we proceed. But I'm told that there are people who are going to challenge me here from the leaders who get to ask questions. Last session was 5 hours. I don't think we're going to stay here 5 hours due to the time we're starting, and I think we've got a bigger portion done. When somebody asks a question, I don't necessarily have to answer the typical yes or no, or just to the point. Sometimes that question, I might take it as an occasion to dive in a concept that we want to share with you, but we will see where it fits the most. So it's not completely fitting or matching the scope of the question. Sometimes, and I think it's a good thing, you'll get more extra. So if you're here to get a yes or no answer, you have to be patient, okay? Or you might get the recap in the back office if one of our great leaders will volunteer to do so. They've been doing that. I would imagine they would also give you that today. So I will take advantage when the question is relevant. I will cover something we might want to cover anyway. We will just see where it's suitable. So we probably have less questions today. I am clueless about those questions or who will ask them today. Seeing the faces, I might have an idea. We're going to give those advantage first. If we have time to repeat or to give another or secondary question for some of the leaders, no problem. But if time doesn't allow, we will have to do it another day. It is important to clarify the first thing. That is the cutoff time. Okay, in the founder's position. And I see there's some confusion again about the time. It's all fine. It's expected and not the end of the world. I'm going to clarify it to you. I think if anybody wanted to become a founder, I have no idea, no clue why they're still working on it now or after that. If you're not done, don't push it. Don't sweat. Don't. I mean, come on. If you don't have that strong desire, I don't think you're. So, as much as I would say we would like to help you and save you, but I don't think you're fast enough. And that's going to be the note that you will be seeing after the 22nd. So I'm going to make it clear. 22nd of June 2022 of any time zone will be in. So the last country, Hawaii, I guess, okay, the last time zone of the 22nd will be in. You follow me? All right. So midnight of any time zone, game over. All right. So on your calendar, no matter where you live, okay, we're going to allow you until that date is over. The clock turns to June 23rd of your time zone. It is probably too late for you, okay? So don't wait. Oh, okay, still not like Central Time. I got another hour. Why? I think I will leave that for some of our leaders to have fun with it. But I think it's insane for anybody to force it the last hour, okay? That's it. Consider today, tomorrow's the 21st. Consider it's like a fixing time, the last time. All right? So now I made it clear. Some got it as the 22nd a.m. Some got it as ending that day. So to be clear, 22nd on your calendar of your time zone, it's over. That day you get the whole day until midnight of your time zone. 23rd a.m. midnight, meaning 12:01 a.m. the start of 23rd, no more founders. Now, I want to clarify a second point. So this is a tentative proposed time. You know, we don't get times from anyone, and we don't follow any script, and it's hard to commit to any timeline. And there is a good number of our leaders, some of them are here, who have asked if we can extend it, if we can allow time, and you know, some people are waking up, so let's give them a chance another 2 weeks. And we have considered that proposal to wait 2 more weeks after the 22nd. It's a nice try, and it's a great proposal, but no, and permanently no. All right? It will not be another day, not the 23rd, not the 24th. There will not be another registration after the 22nd. 22nd of any time zone you're in, after that of any time zone, it's impossible. Now, if you have connections, if you have a leader that will get you in, if you will pay the new price of a founder, okay, we will also not consider that, because it will be priceless and no connection would work. Not in any way you would be able. The whole registration is wiped out completely. It will not exist. There's no registration. You cannot register with any money, with any connection, with any technology. It is not possible to have a new one single founder post that time. All right, so that's clear. I'm ready for the first question. I'm told these questions are tough, and I'm getting to this Onpassive journey to a comfort zone where it's too relaxing to me. It's really not challenging enough. I would like some challenging questions, and I would like some ideas and thoughts that will kind of move me out from the comfort zone. I'm getting bored, sleepy, and I would like some better action. Hit me.
Okay, let it roll. Action. I just want to remind everyone, this is for people that did not ask a question last week. So Antonio, if you could lower your hand. Theory, I believe you asked last week. Please be mindful. Dr. Bill Williams, I'm going to have you all look and see if your hand's up and you asked last week, please lower it. We're going to get to the newer ones today. We ended last week without getting Tony Monk on for his, so we're going to start off with Tony. So Tony, if you could unmute yourself and ask Ash.
Thank you so much, Susie. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can. Oh, great. And thank you, Julie, for getting me on as well. I'm at work right now, so I've got to make my question quickly here. I've got a client in front of me who doesn't have a lot of patience, so I'm working with special needs people. Hi, Ash. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you so much for coming back again to take the second round of questions. We appreciate you. I hope you and your family are doing well. My question, Ash, is that March the 30th, when we went into the marketing part of it in Dubai, we were doing our marketing on the Burj Khalifa and all of the screens in Dubai, and we're still doing it. I was wondering, when we go into activation mode, when we start to activate our accounts, what sort of traffic sources are we going to use? What kind of traffic sources are we going to use to bring people in once we go into the hard launch and we have our accounts all activated? That was my question. Thank you so much, Ash. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tony, and thank you for taking the time from your work to come with us here. Very simple. So the part of the package, what you pay for is guaranteed traffic. It's paid traffic. So we have, so each package will have a special, like a specific number of visitors to the website. And we're the only company, I believe, we can have the payment per guaranteed visitor, not by click or, so it's an actual visitor that will go to your domain name or the selected website. There will be additional sources of traffic, but those are bonuses, whether testing new ventures and traffic campaigns from Onpassive that sometimes will be exclusive to the founders. Sometimes we just want to run, you know, a nationwide campaign in a specific country or globally, a new source, so we have so many lists and all of that. The coordination between our media center and our marketing departments will also find new ways, fresh methods to market and attract the audience to the prospective products, etc. Now, that will happen temporarily. It's not going to be lifetime where we will do it. We know what we're talking about. It's not going to take us a decade to become the market. So the initial years, I would say, will be the case where we would have to go and buy outside, like outside. We will continue advertising and marketing just for branding reasons, etc. Okay. However, we're going to start with guaranteed paid traffic as a part of the paid packages, the activation you've mentioned, Tony, until we become the traffic. And make no mistake, we will be the traffic. We will be in every house eventually.
Thank you so much for answering that. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Of course.
And thank you for everything that you do. We appreciate you. We really do.
All right.
You have a great day, Ash. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Mr. Mufareh. Up next, I'd like to introduce Mike Ellis. Mike, if you would please, I love your question that you asked earlier. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Julie. Hi, Ash. How are you doing? I thought I'd get you when you're fresh. That's why my hand went up right away.
Hit me.
Yeah, I've got a technical question for you, Ash. Will a Swarma comprehensive file...
Let me get Oliver or Bob or somebody that is technical on the line.
No, you can answer this. Will a Swarma comprehensive file be compatible with O Academy? In other words, will they play well together? And I'm sure a Swarma comprehensive file is just a format that they put their content in. But it's a term I had never heard. And the individual that asked me, that's what her format is for her content. So will it work with Onpassive? Or not Onpassive, but Academy?
Yeah, I'll be very truthful as usual with you. So I heard you saying that in the beginning, and I looked it up personally. The term is new to me, but as I understood what it means, okay, so any format of content is in there. That's actually the initial stages, and that was a part of the discussions today. So some content, in fact, will be through blockchain, whether it's in Academy or other forms of delivering content. So there, to keep it simple for non-technical people, including myself, okay, any format is compatible. All right, whether it's a zip folder, it's any format. It doesn't matter. It's so let's put it in small terms, okay, or normal, typical terms, okay. So if a teacher want to deliver a handout, a student to the students, okay, and that is in a PowerPoint, PDF, Those are different formats, okay? Say with me, Excel sheet, Word, okay, document. If it's an image, if it's an audio file, if it's a video file, in fact, each lecture, whether it's live or recorded, it will be archived in MP4 or any format. So there shouldn't be any restriction to any format.
Yeah, no, that's perfect, Dash. Absolutely perfect. And she's going to be able to test this very, very quickly. I mean, we're not that far away from Academy being available for individuals to come in and test it. So when that happens, she'll be able to come in and take care of it. So no, that answer is fine.
If that makes her happy, if it doesn't exist, we'll make it happen. All right, I'm sure.
I told her that.
The people behind me know that. Yeah, it's not a big
I
deal.
told her.
That's what we do.
Yeah, if you can't do it, they will by the end of the day, and that's what I told her. Just very quick.
Smart people and make magic. Sure.
I told her you love brilliant people in the room, and you always have them there. Just very, very quickly.
I'm talking to one now.
Well, thanks, Ash, but I'm not quite sure about that. Just very quickly, Susie. I think Susie asked this question early on, and it's a really, really good question. You know, you've shared so much with us over the last 3 or 4 weeks. I think most of us have overload. I mean, I don't know if we can take any more in a good way. Over the next 90 to 120 days, I believe we know about 12, maybe 15% of Onpassive. Over the next 90 to 120 days, how much more of Onpassive are you going to reveal to us? That's stuff behind the curtain. And I know it's going to be a bunch, but I thought I'd throw it out to you and let you answer it.
Well, that's actually a good one, and I'm glad we get to share again with. So we're gonna have to be realistic, respectful to people's intelligence, and we're not gonna say what they like to hear. Okay, again, the 20-80 rule. Okay. Principle, which is 80% of the people are just either idle or just for a free lunch or something. We understand that, or not here for the right reason, or so we want to make sure we are good at to whom delivering the information. So there will be different classes of information, because some have grown up way beyond the founder or a founding member position, $97. Concept. They're taking ownership, they're taking leadership, and they're being really valuable and effective to the overall journey. And that is valued in terms of what we can trust them with and what we can share with them. So that will be a different scope. Okay, those who will make it and win the actual events, we're going to be more unrestricted in a way to be able to share with them our passion. We love what we do, we're passionate about it, and we want to share it with the right people. Does it make sense that we make it public or that kind of proprietary information? And some, not life-changing, the word life-changing is short. Once you understand it, it's way beyond that. It's changing, even fixing history, the future, and every aspect of the human living. Okay, so I do believe it has to be with the right people or a group of people. Now, there will be constant development. As you see, we're busy. Our teams are growing, and with time, not only we're able to deliver more at a bigger pace, but also the time length, even for the person that is coming now or coming tomorrow, they would have looked down the road, their vision would have broadened up a little bit, so they would be able to observe more and dissect the information better than a while ago when we had very minimal amount of data information revealed to the public. So they will get better at understanding and putting things together, connecting the pieces. We will be able to deliver more because there's no incentive drive or a motive to push people into a $97 position that is being abused. And also we will be able to reveal more to those who we trust and we believe they have Onpassive in their heart. So all in all, it's difficult to say a percentage, for example, but I think it will obviously be much more open than the past. As long as we are telling the right information to the right people, we have so much going on and we will never be able to catch up. Because one thing about Onpassive, we walk first, then we talk, okay? So our actions are way ahead and faster than our, especially now at this phase, this stage, okay? We will not have enough time. I don't think in the next couple of months, we will not have enough time to tell everything is going on. So the actions will be speaking much louder than our words. But there's so much more to reconnect with Susie's point. You have no idea. You have no 10%, you have no 1% of what we do. The truth is, we've gone so radical and we just got the capacity to dare, okay? And we dared and we were able to make things happen. It's what you focus on. I was just reading here, so it's a poster on my PC. Maybe I can share it. Okay, if they allow me to. All right, what is this? Where focus goes, energy flows, all right? And if you don't take the time to focus on what matters, then you are living a life, okay, of someone else's design. We knew what we like and what we want to accomplish, and we were so focused on it, and we were able to attract it. So the energy is flowing exactly where we're going to go.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
that's perfect, Ash. Don't need anything more.
Thank you.
Good to see
Thank you,
All
Mike.
right.
I was sneaky, Ash. I got a question in through somebody else. So thank you for answering that. Thank you, Mike. What I like about your answer, Ash, on his first question, like we always say, where there's a will, Onpassive is the way. So you tell that person about Academy, it'll happen. Thanks, Mike, for joining us. Good to see you. Next, we have Peter Serer. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Good to see you, Peter.
Thank you, Susie. My name is Peter Serer from Michigan, USA. Happy Father's Day to Mr. Ash, super dad, and to all the dads out there. And I also wish Asmahan is doing better now. Wise. And my question to you, can you share with us how the staff, the tech team worldwide, they're working within Onpassive, the legal team as well, how do they feel about closing the door about the founder position? And what's exciting for you personally after the founder position ends? Thank you.
Happy Father's Day to you as well, and all the dads one more time. Appreciate that. Asmahan is doing much better. She's cooking, she's good, and she's telling me every day what wrongs and what things that I do wrong every day. So I'm just teasing her. I hope you got a slipper like every dad on your Father's Day. But to say that's actually a unique question. I never thought I would be asked this. So let's break it down from different perspectives. So legal teams are needed now to expand. Challenges are growing. The need for legalizing products, patenting things, and IP, intellectual properties, etc. So it is a bigger task than before. It was minimal, nothing, just for the logistics, etc. So now that is growing, okay, globally, and the technical team I would like to touch up on a couple of angles on that, Peter, if you don't mind. So the first thing is previously, and I'm going to share this. This is kind of like the first time I'm going to share it with you. Okay. Remember somebody we had, I don't need to say their name because this is almost public, but remember a general manager we had to let go last year, September, okay? And a couple of others, they were plotting internally. At some point, they were charging us for, let's say, 800, 700 employees when we had less number. And many times they had employees where they were like a scam, you know, paying them money to get in, to get the position, and they break them in. So it's a lot of damage that we had to go through. Now, nobody had to deal with that, the good news, and we overcome that. Where we are today, not only we have more loyal people and long-term, and they've been with us now, you know, a good portion of them over a year. They've learned more in a year with Onpassive. Also, they got to understand the vision or the concept of Onpassive, the business model, much better than, say, a year ago, 2 years ago. Okay, so the mechanics are much better. Okay, so this is as of just a couple of days ago. Now that we understand from the tech and delivery teams and managers, now that we are much clearer, okay, on your vision, okay, do not worry about coding or programming. Everything that we get it will be done. So they're the type of people that are more loyal, been long enough with us to understand the scope better, and they have gained confidence to say anything we can code. Just throw it at us, we will handle it, okay? And it's a matter of just increasing that. So they're really, now I can tell you, it's a piece of cake. Just like Mike said, you give it to us, by the end of the day, it will be done, all right? As an evidence to that, as we speak, like drinking water, so flawless. We have a new website today, Monday. We had one last week, a complete new website that is coded, that is SEO, that is connected to so many pages, the career portal, the blog, and so many aspects, registering to all founders as of now. Also, it is replicated to every founder, link number 55, okay? That is happening, okay? We didn't have, you know, this scope just 3-4 months ago. So things are, the data center, so technically we are stronger, more confident, and the feeling or the reaction, you know, it's clearing up the fog from, you know, the mind, especially the technical people before, because all we talk about, oh, founders, and that's like the only package we're selling, and so they're not really clear. I'm talking about 2 years ago, but now that is, oh, it's all Onpassive, it's all products, and now we get like, oh, founders is just a temporary pre-launch beta testing, you know, model that is not going to be here for a lifetime. Therefore, you know, there's a possibility, you know, a good portion of these founders will maintain that position lifetime. Okay, so all in all, I think it's refreshing that they're saying coding is not an issue. Anything can be coded. And as of last week, we've just formed, in fact, every day of last week, 5 days, business days, we've had daily discussions where we, you know, some products are done, like ready for market level. Some are final sprints for beta testing, then, you know, closing approach. So remember, what do we do with the departments or teams who finish, let's say, oh, Connect? They don't go home, right? They continue improving and adding more features. So now we got this executive committee where their daily job, sit in a room and throw and exchange ideas. They're going to have their meal every day. They're going to have their salary. They're going to have their unlimited supply of beverage, whatever, at their comfort. Complete flexibility. Search, navigate any tool you need, any resource you need. It's done. The answer is yes, yes, yes to everything you ask for. Every day, their mission from now on, okay, and those who will follow, disruptive ideas and features for those products. So to get the product to where it's selling to the public, that is day one. And that is the minimum size and value of the product, okay? Still, it's above market level. It's disruptive, the unlimited factor, the price point, all of that is way superior to everything, okay? But that is day one in the revolution, the transformation of that product. So they will continue. Come to that product a year from now. It's not going to be outdated. It's going to be crazier. So I hope that helped you, but how do they feel? I mean, they're not emotionally attached to it. They're just ready for more work, and they're moving forward, and we have more work to do.
What about you personally, Mr. Ash? What's the next step within Onpassive that you're so excited about?
I thought I'm going to have an idea to vent.
No, you can't get away with that.
An opportunity to vent about the founders. I am ready to move on. Okay, I'm ready to move on. We've had more than enough. More than enough. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Ash, and to all the tech team and the staff everywhere around the world. We thank you so much for everything that you do behind the scene, and to you and your family for all the time that you have. Thank you. Appreciate it, brother.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Really appreciate what you're saying here. Thank you, Mr. Mufareh. All right. Let's have Ty Young is joining us. I'm looking for you, Ty, but if you could please unmute your mic and please ask question.
Hi, Ash. It's been a long time. I heard you last time you were on here talking about the metaverse, and I'm excited about metaverse. It's cool. It's really neat stuff I learned about it. But I just wanted to know from your point of view, right, in what ways do you envision using the metaverse to create revenue for Onpassive?
Yeah, good to see you, Ty. Thank you for the question. Again, I'm always going to have to be a straight shooter with you. I'm blunt. Okay. We are only having that as an ambition now. Is it done? Is it constructed? No, zero of that. So metaverse is not done. It's an ambition. 3D printing. Is it done? No. There's some ambitions that we never shared actually, but this just been a part of different technical discussions. So it's brought up. Are we going to proceed? Yes. It's not a fantasy. It's an actual plan, and we aspire to making it happen. So we cannot really get into a lot of technicalities and many, details of the point. So leave that for the time. To be more clear, there are different types of products we provide on Onpassive. There are digital products, and there are physical products, and there are missionary products, humanitarian, educational. There are business products. I just love making money. Okay, and why not? And and there are things that are completely disruptive. Okay, that we have the foundation to reach new heights in that direction, and we will contribute to it. And things that I would say our timing is serving, aligning with our vision, is serving us to reach a disruptive level, like the data centers. We're not inventing data centers. We're not the first, we're not the biggest as of now. But because of our timing getting into the game, right, with the available technologies, it's going to cut years of that gradual evolution process. From day one, we're able to get something more powerful, faster, more secure, and more sophisticated from day one. So timing is good, and we're clear on having no limit to our growth. So it's not like we want to get something just to be able to barely sell and make the most, spend the least, the fastest, all of that, just like any business concept. All right. So that philosophy, along with our timing, is going to enable us to reach new heights faster and more effective, because we're not profit driven, whether it's in virtual reality or metaverse or augmented reality. Whatever we touch is going to make things crazy. In fact, if it's not too soon, I think you're going to love this as a part of AI. Okay, again, timing is good for Onpassive. Okay, if we started like AI, 10, 15 years ago, it would have been a long way to go. We're starting where things are really in good shape. So that's in our advantage, especially having the mind. We don't care how difficult or how profitable it is. We're just going to get it done in the best possible way. I will leave that piece, but I'm going to share with you something about AI. Onpassive, just one of the applications that will be a part of, let's say, Academy and other. This is faster. This is almost done. Actually, it's just a part of the integration. It's not even mentioned anywhere. And it's unique to Onpassive. It hasn't been done before, never been done before. But it's a little scary, okay? It makes you think, is Onpassive like gaudy or what's happening? It is so good. AI, it's an AI application that would be part of things that will, wow. Joyce Hicks, I don't know if she's here, but for example, they would have to sit with somebody and interrogate them for hours to be able to understand them. Can you imagine being on the screen and AI would read your psychological structure, your emotional status and state, and do that to many at the same time? It's just a little crazy. I'm not going to give details, but I'm just giving you the ideas because of our timing. And again, we are attracting what we focus on. Remember that, what I just showed from Tony Robbins? We are focused. We know exactly where we are going, and that's why we're going to attract the right people, and we continue to do so. Scientists, inventors, etc.
Okay.
And that was definitely a bigger answer than I thought we'd get.
That's what I do.
Over deliver. Thank you, Ty.
Do you want a short answer? If you want a short answer, not for Ty, it's too late, but for the next person, if you want a short answer, tell me no. Tell me, like, when you ask, tell me you have 20 seconds. I'll give you that.
Beat the clock. Okay. Thank you, Ash. Thank you, Ty. Next, we have Ken Parslow. If you could unmute yourself, Ken, you're up next. Ask Ash.
Thank you, Susie. And thank you, Mr. Mufareh, for allowing me the privilege to be on the panel and to ask this question. My question is to dealing with the pay structure under the algorithm. And originally, we were under the impression of an MLM type thing, and we know that that's not the case now. I guess what I'm wondering is, and I'll do an example here. What if my buddy that got me in here was my brother-in-law, Daryl Cook, and so let's say that Daryl has 40 people or customers that he got in directly himself, and let's say that I have 12. When and let's say that day one, everybody pays for their subscription fee. My first three, okay, that pay for my subscription every month, do they get any benefit from any of those that Daryl have in as personal customers, or do they get any benefit from the other personal customers that I have as far as income goes down the road?
It's a very good point and good topic. And how long do you wish to have the answer? For how long?
As long as it takes.
That's the attitude, okay? Ty, Young, okay. Don't time me. So whatever it takes to get the best value, not long or short.
Ash, if I offended you, I didn't mean to at all. Sorry.
Come on, somebody clarify to him. Nobody can ever offend me. It's
just a joke. It's just a joke, Ty.
Yeah.
It's just a joke.
I have a thick skin. Okay, Ty. No, you're a good man, and I love you, and you will not offend me. No one can offend me. I don't know. If it bothers me, I just walk away from it. But by all means, I mean that I don't focus on time. Okay, here I focus on value. So back to the point, Ken and everyone. So this is one of the topics that it would make more sense post the it will give us more liberty after the 22nd. But in general, I'm just going to do it this way. So it is not MLM, but what about this group of Daryl Cook that generates every sales, again, not account, because you might have 20 different packages. You're one customer within that structure, right? But you have 20 different purchases, say, within the month, all right? Some of them are subscriptions, some of them are one time, like traffic, refillable, bigger packages, smaller packages. That all generates, say in a socket or a pocket, it generates volume. So a percentage should benefit the team. So we can have, it's not like the direct sales, okay? Obviously, it has to make sense. The person who's making the effort, or their timing, for example, or how many packages, they're not going to earn, let's say, on packages they're not in yet. So it's not about the typical multi-level marketing. Ken under Daryl will have 3, and then the rest will start, spilling down. And no, it's not, because Ken might buy 2 products, and Daryl could be in 20, and then from Ken's customers, one of them might buy 20, so they generate. So the logic of it is to treat it as commission, as volume, and percentage. It's very simple. I think you will get the math on that point, where it is not per head, it's sales, volume, packaged together according to the teams and to the overall organization, okay? And then deliver according to the level or packages they're in. If somebody just obviously getting in today, they might have just activated one package versus somebody had been there 20 months ago and they're all in. That's one. Perhaps the traffic that they're receiving, because that person will have their own traffic, okay, once they have the prospective package. So this will never be 100% saying, as long as it's lawful, that we prefer not to make it Daryl joins so-and-so, makes so-and-so, and all of that. Then it's going to go viral as a money game, and, people selling people and all of that. So the minute we feel or sense that some of the customers or say marketers are already promoting that structure in such a way, we would activate the next one. We're not going to have one. It has to be so fluid, so dynamic that we never want to be known as a money-making company or get rich quick or whatever that concept, okay? We want to focus on the value. You're going to need OConnect. You're going to love, the technology that we have, and you're going to use it as a buy, product. As a result of that, you get to be compensated. And who's not going to do that? Okay. So remember, there are products of Onpassive, okay? And this is another thing. Now, again, everything will be certified, licensed in a way. They probably don't need to be marketed because we will never make enough to supply to the demand. All right. And there's no need. Like we already have, sources that will take everything we would produce, physical products. Can I give you an example? Like, can you have enough steel? The metal, steel, can you have enough? Can you get stuck and have overall? There's not a product we don't use it in any industry, any sector. You can never make enough of that, all right? So that's been said. We don't have a problem in marketing and composite. But what if we want to put the profit of that within the pay structure of Onpassive, but for qualified people? You don't need to market. You don't need to sell. It's already sold. Pre-sold. So the idea is, yes, there will be a benefit from volume, all right? But how? Let's stay away from it, okay? And just enjoy the numbers in real life and enjoy the usage, the utilization of the product. As much as we would like to have everything disclosed 100% under the sun, but there are some areas we shouldn't because they will be taken against us. And that's one of the reasons we wanted to stay away from the multi-level marketing, because we have grown way beyond that to provide enough value that is unfair or is devaluating Onpassive, undervaluing, valuing Onpassive because of what we do and how much we've grown, and then to be labeled, let's say, as a program or as a paying company, or okay, so it's just not doing justice. So for that reason, or for those who would be, let's say, potential prospects, why do we want them to come from the money aspect? Coming from, just use the products that you want. As a byproduct, it's a done deal. There is a compensation to it, and nobody will be disappointed. You're going to use them anyway, and they're going to save you time. They're going to give you value, whether in your business or your personal life or any area of your focus. At the same time, they will pay you. They will compensate you. It's never been done before.
Thank you very much.
And the more you make, I'm going to throw that, Ken, I think you would appreciate it. Okay. The more you make, the faster you would grow. Because typically, you're going to have to grow harder and you're going to get an oversaturated situation, or your capacity. People would have a good surge almost in every business or new concept. Yeah, they would have a good surge, then it runs out quickly. Okay. That is one of my, I would say, dilemmas, or my personal fears. Okay, so I work so hard to make sure that we never get oversaturated, and it's not per head, it's product, and it's renewable product. Let me give you an example. The more you grow in your volume, the more commissions that digital figure is going to grow. It will automatically buy you more traffic packages. You're going to grow faster. you make more of those re-entry bonuses by more traffic, and those packages are compensation, commissionable to Daryl, to yourself, to some of your team, those who qualify, those fit in the criteria. It's just mind-boggling. So there's no comparison, and it's unfair to even reference to any existent concept or model as of today. If I left you the headache, that's okay. That's what I do.
He just left me with a lot to think about. That's all. Discuss with Daryl tomorrow.
We got to listen to this over and over again to be able to really make it clear for all of us. So thank you for the question, Ken. And Mr. Mufareh, thank you so much. Up next is Dan Street. Dan, you are up next. If you could please unmute your mic, and I pinned you.
I'm unmuted. Hi, Ash. And I just like to start out, and I just like to thank you and your family and the entire Onpassive team that you put together over the last 4 years to make this a reality. And that does include the legal team and all the engineers and technicians and support staff. I mean, they all work tirelessly for all of us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And my question, well, what's fascinated me about, I just get my mind going on different things with Onpassive and all businesses that are online. But what fascinates, I know a huge part of the success of any business is the complex way in which they do their payment processors work to distribute the revenue that's been collected. Not only the collection of payments from customers, but the distribution of funds in so many ways. And I just can't wrap my brain around it. And I just wondered if you could give us some kind of a brief or an overview of how this system works. I know a lot of it's proprietary and all that, but I just like to get, is it a lot of different algorithms, or how does that system work? How complex is it?
Well, thank you for your kind words, Dan, and thank you for all of your efforts and faith and commitment in the last couple of years as well. It's a team effort for sure. So I'm fascinated because it is really refreshing to see such a good way of practice in businesses with the fairness and the integration, the severity, how expanded it is, okay, how vast it is. So there are a few things. Let's be aware of them. Number one is redundancy, which you've got to have a backup plan to everything, especially at the level when we go to the market. And for those tech pros, I don't know if they are watching now or later, like for example, the data centers we're talking about, they have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Onpassive is tier 1, and to make it a friendly concept here for those non-technical people, tier 1 data center, meaning you have a backup power in a different city, but within a good radius, okay? So power goes off in this city or this town where the data center is, it picks up power from another place, and it picks up like the generators. So it's seamless. It's like that. So there's no outage due to power, electricity. Meanwhile, internet, you don't rely on one supply, one vendor, one internet connection. They have 1, 2, and some occasions 3. And you have wireless, and you have also that hybrid that goes as a backup to cloud hosting. So it should be 0 down time, okay, due to redundancy. And the same thing applies. One of the, again, I think, maybe it's a conflict that personally, we've had before. We have known these reasons, just like we've talked with to Ken, the getting oversaturated due to the MLM structure and all of that, and that's one of the conflicts I've had, and one thing is we're well aware of the reasons most companies of any industry fall, but specifically IT companies. Okay, so let's focus on just a couple of the main reasons. Number one, but in general, okay, they are like underprepared for the growth. So they really have a good concept and they have a good product, but they are underprepared. Underprepared in one, human resources, staff, okay, merchant solutions, the maneuvering the money and the mobilization of funds, okay, they have that restriction. Legality issues, they didn't close all the holes, okay, or tech issues, you know, they have a server, they need to change it after they go in business. They're not prepared enough in general, okay. So this is something that we're blessed to be aware of, and we're fortunate that we're well aware that this could be a fatal reason to kill, you know, God forbid, if we're not prepared enough. So one, to overcome all of that, anything that we can do internally and test to an unlimited, whether it's the distribution, the latency, we call it, how much it can tolerate at the same time, the speed of it, all of that, the security, that is internal. That is not an issue. But also the reliance on external solutions, whether it's a merchant or a gateway or all of that, that is redundant. So we have, if something fails, you know, you hook up the next one, the third one, the fourth one, until we are completely independent. And it is definitely, you know, it gives you a headache to try to grasp all of that at the same time. But the good news, it's you know, sometimes it's more complicated to explain something. I mean, how do you see? Look now, you're seeing, right? Without any explanation. That's it. Okay. Or if you want to go and dissect the human anatomy, and all right, that's a different one. We're not going to get it, or most of us. So that's one of the topics, or it's a good thing that you know, the mechanics are easier, the machine, the technology, the staff, the specialists that, you know, or the experts, they can handle this. But as long as the vision or the structure is well organized, then we are in good shape.
Okay. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Ash.
Of course.
Next, we have my dinner partner, Daryl Cook. Come on down, unmute yourself, and it's your turn to ask Ash.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Susie. And I just want to ask Mr. Schurer that you are taking good notes as well, because some of those questions and answers, I know I just got them all befuddled, but we'll do the best we can. Ash, thank you so much for everything. Thanks for the invite today. As you know, I'm going to ask you something about Ocademy and also how it links with staff. So I've been thinking a lot about your challenge to me about a year ago about evaluations, because I agree with you. The way that school districts are evaluating children right now really has a lot to be worked on. So one of the things that I've been studying a lot is the idea of portfolio and self-evaluation by the student. And with the mass exodus out of public education that we're seeing today, how Ocademy, OConnect, and OStaff will affect the future of learning institutions will be huge. The timing couldn't be riper, as we have been saying. So with that, my question is, although OStaff is designed for employee record keeping, will this platform be easily adaptable, such as subject fields, whatever, for student record keeping, portfolio maintenance, curriculum needs, career focus, along with other data such as, you know, date of birth, parents, graduation, et cetera, et cetera? I see it as a smooth transition, and thank you to the tech guys. I think they've given me a clear evaluation, but I want to hear it from you. Is OStaff that compatible where we can do that? Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you, Daryl. Actually, good topic, good point, and that can go on and on and on. But in short, if I want to try to connect more with the audience now, in practical terms, yes, OStaff is adaptable to all areas. Why not a nonprofit church organization? Okay, why not an organization that would form, in O Women or O Bless, for example? Why not in a governmental, structure, hierarchy? Why not? Why not to, of course, so it's not limited to a business, a hospital, any sector. So the universities or schools are no exception. All right, so that's one side of it. And as far as for Academy, and there's so many possibilities, because again, it's not one product. That's a beauty we have, and it's a good power we have in Onpassive. You're not relying on one possibility. The odds are going to be limited, but everything is possible. So when you put the two, for example, like you're in OStaff, but why not using some Academy for whether training, motivation, or self-growth? They meet and they overlap in some areas, so why not have that? So yeah, there's no question about the integration and utilization to both. 100%. As a fun factor, if Susie allows me to throw the F-bomb, okay, and this is a gift to you, and as a respect, Daryl, okay, the facial recognition, okay, is one thing. In fact, I have pictures. I might, show. I have to. It's on here. I want to move it to my computer, or I just show a screenshot, maybe. Okay. Of the devices that we have, let's say in the Hyderabad building, we have the facial recognition. So how do we check now? CCTV, for example, is already there, integrated with OStaff, okay? And attendance as one module of OStaff. It could be the same in schools, okay? Facial recognition, you don't have to touch, you don't have to write attendance, none of that. Walk into the class, there's one entrance, one for the exit. You read who came in. It's AI. It's complete technology, hands-free, touch-free. It's accurate 100% of the time, not 99%. Okay, and there's no room for manipulation. It's not a card or login. It's 100% unique, like biometric. Okay, so the bonus to you, facial recognition is already done. Okay. What about, and the integration is already in our technologies and multiple applications. And what about, you remember also we talked about having in OChat or so now having the emotional sensor, okay? So now, would it be useful for you as an instructor of any class? Let's say you have a class of 100 people. Different locations. They log in through OConnect to your live event class today. They're from different locations, different backgrounds, and you're in a different location. Nobody's, but you didn't take the time. I know Joyce is listening to this, the social work aspect, but what if there's a genius technology that can read not only the distraction, but it can read the emotional state of each student, all of them at the same time, and it's giving you reports in details, never been done before, okay? An application that will read the emotional status, the mind. You would have no clue to do that in person. Needless to say, many at the same time. Your time, you just want to get this class done and move on to the next one or go to your life or whatever. Now, thanks to technology where it will take care of that, if it will give you the report if something requires attention and so forth. This gives us a whole new world as well. At the same time, so imagine, that's why I said gaudy, okay? It's a little scary if you think about it. Like, you know, human, I can focus on 1, 2, maybe, okay, at the same time to understand or to communicate. But technology can read multiple, many at the same time, and you don't have to be distracted of the psychological status and you know, circumstances of every student. This is done for you. This will make your head obviously explode if you got what I said.
And that'll be incredible for when you go back and look at the results of your lesson to be able to evaluate what you need to do next time. That is amazing.
Heat map, exactly, where the attention span, all of that, where it was hot, where you lost them, where, you know, exactly. And tweak and improve.
Wow, thank you so much. That's incredible.
Wow. Thank you so much, Daryl, for an awesome questions. All right, up next is Chiu. I just wanted to shout out to Chiu. She is one of the leader working behind the scene that been continuous helping with the Vietnamese community. I'm so glad you're here, and please unmute your mic, Chiu.
Hi, Julie. First, I want to thank you so much. This is actually a lovely surprise for me because in no way Mr. Ash will know who I am without your introduction. And also, Mr. Ash, first of all, I would like to, on behalf of all of the Vietnamese founders who don't speak English, we want to thank you, your family, everybody that touched Onpassive, either at the front or behind the scene, because without all of you guys, there won't be any Onpassive. And to us, Onpassive actually is the magic wand to help us fulfill our dreams and goals in this life. And every single week, I heard so many touching stories about the financial struggle people have to do, especially like just last week, there's a lady who was first introduced to Onpassive, and she's so excited, but she doesn't have money. She has to sell 2 of the dogs in order to buy a position. And there's another one, a student, he got one for him last year, and now he has some money to buy another one for a neighbor who is an elderly living alone, who still has to work, you know, every day just to make ends meet. And that kind of story, you know, is very touching. And with us, Onpassive is the only hope that will help us change our life for the better. So I just I want to take this opportunity to thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. And my question is a very simple, if it is appropriate. Do you have any information that you want to share with us regarding the timeline for the subscription fee to be activated? That's very simple. Thank you.
Oh, very good point. And thank you, actually. Thank you for the kind words, and thank you for all the efforts. And I know one of the very wide open markets is Vietnam. So if anybody is rooted in that market, go for it. It will pay off, okay? It is rewarded. So go for it, and I believe we have the connections, and thanks to you and Julie, of course, and other leaders who are paying attention. The language is one barrier, and affordability is another one. The language is a matter of time. We're going to have the technical solutions where we are fine, and with the help and effort of the leaders, it will be great, especially if we have a local office in Hanoi or Saigon or any city, we will coordinate in translation, so that will overcome and conquer the language barrier. The affordability, if anybody afforded the founder and they were able to get it on a founder, it will be easier for them to get in as a customer or to activate the packages. So we will do whatever we have to do to give the reasonable, sufficient, fair time to all the people to activate their accounts, especially the founders, before the market. And we will do every possible scenario that helps them to afford it, to be able to pay those fees in so they are activated. And there will be more than one option. So all in all, we have zero worry or concern about that. It's not going to be an issue. We're confident it will be seamless, it will be fair, it will be affordable. They will have the sufficient time to be able to get in.
And
okay,
how about the time frame? I'm sorry, the time frame. If it's appropriate for you to share with us, so that we can,
You mean after closing time,
yes,
the founders to be able to? Yeah. So yeah, to Vietnam and to every country, there is an enough time. It's not defined by the date, but it will be fair to say to try to help them activate their accounts. And those who cannot meet, let's say the official inauguration or the line, and they missed that date, no problem. There will be a grace period. We've talked about it before. That will give them even some lineage to come and pay later. Like even if they remain free for a certain time, like it could be a couple of months until they activate their accounts. So the date is not exactly defined, but we're very confident it will be enough to come up with that fee.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
And good to have you. Yes, new faces.
Yeah. I don't know if your question was answered. I interpreted it as she was wondering after the foundership, is there a timeline when we will be activating the subscriptions? I think that was what she was looking for. Is that correct, Chu?
Yes.
You asked if it was appropriate, it was appropriate to ask how soon after the foundership ends, is there a time frame when people will be activating their accounts?
Yes, Susie, thank you so much.
To allow them to activate.
Well, actually, how much time, after we end the founder position? I mean, if it's appropriate for me to ask, do you have any time frame for that? So that we will.
Yeah, my understanding, you're asking because you're hoping that it will be enough time for the Vietnamese founders to be able to come up with the fee, to be ready to catch that time.
Yes, sir. However, if it's like we know, okay, you have 3 months from the day we close, then it's a little bit more. I don't know how to say it. It's a little bit because everybody, they are so hopeful. They look forward to that day because they know that when that day comes,
to activate the account. So you want it faster?
Yes. If
no problem.
Can,
okay.
If we can, yeah.
Okay. We don't know how long it is, but
okay. Oh. Okay, thank you, Chu. Thank you, Ash. She got disconnected, but she's back, and we have Hawa. If you could unmute yourself and ask Ash, you are next.
Thank you, Susie. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Mr. Ash. Mr. Ash, happy to see you. Salam alaikum.
Walaikum
I
salam.
am Hawa Bokum from Senegal, a very tiny country in the west coast of Africa. And I am very delighted to be here today. I'm very happy for this opportunity. Mr. Ash, what I would like to ask you is just about one of our flagship application that is OBLESS. And you see, what strikes me a lot is that OBLESS is playing a very, very important place in the fight against poverty, in poverty alleviation, or let's say, as you said, poverty eradication. But we know poverty eradication is not something that is happening out of the blue. It's a long way, very long way. And for me as an African, what strikes me a lot, Mr. Ash, is the brain drain from Africa, the brain drain from third world countries. Governments are putting a lot of efforts in order to educate and to give, to have quality people. But at the end of the day, they go abroad because they're not finding the means to stay in their countries. So may I suggest, in line with your smart son, Junior, it can be, let's say, pegged to OBLESS or even Academy, in order to have a kind of scholarship for gifted, talented kids. And then we will take them care of them. As we know that if you want to educate, if you want to change mindsets of people, you have to start from youth. And then we're gonna support them from zero to hero, as you used to say. Because mindset shift for me is very important, to have new people that are not corrupted, that are fighting against corruption. So I would like to suggest that, let's say, perhaps O scholarship or O Mother Teresa scholarship, but something that will help the youth, all of us as Onpassivians from each country. We will see who are the talented, the gifted people that we can help, so that those knowledge will not be lost forever. Because I remember, Mr. Ash, one day you were saying, imagine one day when you were dying on your bed, on your deathbed, surrounded by your dreams that are complaining, we are going to die, we are going to disappear with you. So I think this is a kind of dream that we can make come true while supporting those kids from zero to hero. Thank you so much.
Great topic and very lengthy, but in short, I wish you were with us on the previous discussion before this webinar. We talked about kids. In fact, in many occasions, it will be easier for you to start from scratch than fixing something that exists, okay? So there is we're more optimistic about the next generation and the future generation. So that's why it's good to start working on that now, so that we fill them with a more, I would say, appropriate and ethical mindset in the early stages, not being affected by the financial ability to that society or not having to follow old concepts that have been running through decades and nobody stopped to question them. So overall, yeah, this is a longer process. This is not an overnight. It's not a click. It's not a product you generate. So to replace an existing culture, it will take time, but we will preserve no effort in Onpassive to help those young generations and future generations to have a better track, I would say, so they can focus on what matters and invent and produce something that is useful rather than have to struggle just to maintain a living. You have the right to question, how could Onpassive eradicate through OBLESS or Academy the corruption in the educational system or the financial, the poverty. How could you conquer poverty, for example? Okay, when you're just born and you're in the early stages of your business, and the answer is the core model of what we do is quite different. The drive of what we do, the motive of what we do is completely different and disruptive. Unfortunately, I thought it should be the norm, but it's being labeled as a paradigm shift. Most of the solutions that you see are not genuine in taking care of the issue, but taking advantage of the issue. There's something that's going on. I'll take advantage. I'm going to solve it. Like, I'm not convinced that the power of every nation's leader or leadership, along with the resources that exist. Ken talked about the distribution. Okay. Sorry. Who talked about the distribution of everything? Like it's hard to get your mind around it. Dan, right? Dan Street. So it's the glitch is in the distribution. I do believe that there's not a genuine desire or will to make it happen, rather than they take advantage of the issue. And how can I find a loophole and do more corruption and, load my tank more and more and more? That is a sad truth. So the attempts to eradicate poverty as of now, if we analyze them one by one, is either they're going to be driven by profit, not to actually genuinely do that, okay, to solve the issue. It would be, how can I pocket more, taking advantage of people's, emotions, etc. That is the sad thing. Nor it's the structure of it, the manufacturing of it. It wasn't genuine to really solve it. It was just to make something possible, either to get popularity, or to get votes, or to get more cash, or all of them, okay? Because of our drive, we don't care if we make money or we pay money, okay? As long as we really solve the issue. So that conceptual thing is different. So we do have that, the will is different. Again, we're not doubting there's a solution. There is a solution. Will it take time? Yes. So overall, I don't want to get trapped by when are we going to do it? How long is it going to take? Are we really, or question our ability? No, we're going to have a different mindset that whatever we want to do, we can do it. So let's have that motivation that we can do it. Yes, there's no impossible if we put our heads together, our hearts together. Okay, so it is possible. Let's believe it's possible. And it doesn't matter if it takes a decade or a century, but it's done. So it doesn't go on and on. Now, again, go back to that bed moment, and you want to think back, okay, before my life is over, should I think, well, because I thought it's impossible, it's going to take a long time, and I didn't have the courage or the tenacity to go after it. I didn't do it. I didn't start. And now, who knows? In another century or two, anybody can dare to start. So it's an honor to dare to start, to begin. Glory comes from daring to begin. Okay, and you never know. And then you attract, and now you fix the mentality. It is possible. Then once you get that momentum, the belief, the certainty, like, okay, it is happening, then it will be unstoppable. So I don't foresee like all the way. It's not like, oh, I see the date and the timing and how much and what we are going to go. But I do have the faith, the hope, the optimism, okay, that we will contribute in the solution, at least put it on the right track. And something maybe I'm almost confident about that, which we will do it more like ethically than anything that has been done before, and we will actually mean to do it, and we will put more effort than anyone before. It doesn't mean they're all bad. There's some decent solutions or attempts. Okay, we appreciate them, but I think it's possible. With Onpassive, it's more possible. I'm going to put it this way: if it was impossible with Onpassive, if it's not possible with Onpassive, then we're just going to have to give up anything that is called charity or being good or contribution or crowdfunding or fixing any issue. It is over. If it's not going to be fixed through Onpassive, who's going to fix it? Okay? I mean, economy, we've talked about this before. It is either already, I'm talking about global economy. It's either going to announce the death or recession or to bankrupt, or on the verge of being in a deep recession. I'm not in the business to give you the bad news, but it's a fact, okay? It is not, it is unlikely that we're going to prosper, you know, in the next couple of years. It looks ugly, okay? But thanks to Onpassive, we have something that is more promising and more hopeful. And if those systems, global leaders, I would say not all of them, but most of them, if they're not yet financially bankrupting, you and I know that they are 100% morally bankrupted. So how do you have any hope from them? So we cannot rely on them, and we cannot wait, we cannot waste time. If there's something that we can do now, we have the honor to be the spark of the next movement, the real one that will eradicate poverty. I think we will contribute more than anyone else, and we could solve it. Again, there's some people that refuse to be successful or to participate, and it's not one thing. It's insane for us to think it's going to be Onpassive, Bless, and it's over, okay? That's one of the tools. But go back to Academy and what you said, and Kids, and you know, so if you integrate everything together, the overall value is going to generate that bigger, more force in the right direction, and then it will accelerate where we can expect, you know, results. And you shouldn't, or I'm not talking to you directly or personally, we shouldn't, all of us, expect magic to come overnight. As long as we have progress. With progress, you're going to have more hope, more conviction, that builds more action. It will motivate the next people, the next generation, and so forth, and we will continue. So eventually, it can be solved. Sorry for the preach, but that's what I do.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm so delighted with your answer. I'm really delighted. More than 200 people from Africa are dying each week in the ocean, going abroad for greener pastures. So we're going to root them in their countries, and we're going to start working with them.
It's better to have hope and do something than dying, you know, speculating and questioning and not having the faith in all of that. So we're going to die anyway. I'm sorry to break it down to you, but so let's die on something that is, you know, honorable, with dignity. So if every question that we've had so far, if we cut that topic alone, I guarantee it is worth a session. I don't know if you get it now. If you rewind or if you watch the playback after this session, Hawa's question, you know, Daryl's question, one by one, if we slice them down, they're one episode, they're one lecture, they're one lesson. And you can sell them for, I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. Would love that. Thank you, Mr. Mufareh. Thank you, Hawa, for being here, and thank you for the question. Mr. Mufareh, we are at the 2 hours mark. Would you like to take a little break?
I was wondering if I'm going to get a break today. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yes, let's all of us take about 5 minutes break. We're going to mute everyone. Just everyone kind of turn off your camera or your mic. Just go take a break. And then right now we have almost 6,000 people are joining us right now. 5 minutes we still can share to our friends or family, you know, who are founders and have coming on to listen to the sessions, because I think there's so much that we can learn from here. So let's take 5 minutes from now. Mr. Mufareh, thank you so much for your time.
Marty, stop the recording, Marty. Start it over again after this.
I'm going to do this right now, Chris.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
Okay. And Chris, you there, Chris?
I'm there, Susie.
Time to walk
the dog for Susie.
Yeah, I have to go into listen only mode. Chris is going to cover for me. Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
Also, those people waiting in the queue, I see a few that asked questions last time. Please, we're getting those who were unable to ask last week. So if you asked a question last week and your hand is raised, kindly lower it. And should we get through everyone and there's time for additional questions, we'll let you know. In the meantime, we're going to take a quick break and be back. And Chris, thank you. I'm going to go into listen only mode, and he's going to be Susie for the rest. Thank you, Chris. Love you.
You're welcome, Susie. Love you.
Love you, Susie. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Chris, I put names on the chat, so we'll just kind of follow that. And the panelists, we put names just so that you know when you're speaking next. We'll do our very best to bring everyone on. So 4 minutes to go. I'm going to get water, Chris. I'll be right back.
Hey, this is where Marty breaks out with his song and dance, because he hasn't made me co-host yet. So Marty's going to do a rendition of Somewhere Over the Rainbow for us. Marty DeGarmo, you ready? Marty. Anyway.
That made me laugh. Hey, while I'm still here for a few more minutes, you know how Ash was talking about the facial, and emotions and all that? Can you imagine telling jokes or a comedian doing that and really seeing how people are reacting? I mean, I can see all of the benefits for someone teaching a course. Does it seem like people were excited about it? Were they comprehending it? Were they lit up about it? And like Daryl said, modifying maybe their next lesson the next time they do it. But can you imagine utilizing that when you're giving speeches or a comedian? I mean, just think of those tools that people can use to fine tune how they're presenting information. I am so excited about that.
Look at actors too, Susie, who can learn facial expressions from fear, happiness, anxiety. They can actually, it's a whole nother course on Academy on if you're an actor or you want to get into the movies or the soap opera business, how to react or how to show actual faces. It's really, if you think about it, I'll be the teacher for that one. It'll be a whole new course of facial expressions.
I'll go to that class.
I think it'll be pretty exciting, actually.
And then they have those people who can tell who's telling the truth or not when they're talking. Like, do their eyes go one way or what's their body language? I mean, just think about like the fun word, F-U-N, the F word there. How much fun you could have with this. I just think it's wonderful. Totally wonderful.
Every time you say that F word, I
get everyone scared a little bit.
I do. Especially how Ash says it. He says it like, uh-oh, here it goes. Here it goes. And I'm like, no, he always gets me on that one.
I know. And you know what, though? We do have fun. And I think it's great that we can have our special words, too, that we all use. Yeah. I think it's great. I think it's wonderful.
Bill said no F here. All right. So everyone on the panel, I know that we can chat there. but it would be grateful if you could refrain from the chat because it moves. Because, you know, we would like to make sure that we're not missing anyone. So if we are putting the name on the chat and if you're chatting, we might lose a spot. So if you could please refrain from that, that would be fantastic, please. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and retype all the name that are coming up next.
Thank you, Julie, for doing that, and thanks, Chris.
I got you, Susie. You're welcome.
Thank you, Susie. Have a great evening listening in.
Chris, you have taken the break in the live session, right?
What was that?
China cabinet moved.
Oh, I'm saying that Chris has taken the break in the live session already.
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris.
Yes, Miss Diane, go ahead from Canada, my beautiful sister.
I need my China cabinet moved.
You need your what?
China cabinet moved.
Are you going to start with that again, eh? I donated it to John White, who donated to Bill Musk. Bill Musk gave it to Marty, and Marty shipped it back, so I got that thing again. So, oh my God,
right.
who's back?
We got Mr. Mufareh back. Sorry, Chris. So we got Alan next, and then Diane, and Joyce, and John, and Julie. All right, let's hold on. Mr. Mufareh, please give me 1 second. Let me start pinning John. Reminder, everyone, if you're currently watching, I'm going to mute Alan really quick. If you're currently watching and you like to focus on Mr. Mufareh and speaker, please set your view as speaker view. And if you like to look at how everyone is reacting to what's said here, please put gallery view. All right, Alan, you are next. Actually, please give me 1 second. Let me record first.
Recording in progress.
Alan, please start.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Mufareh. I'm very happy to be on the panel tonight. My question is, I saw an article about 10 days ago about the European Union existing AI with emotional detection. Any comment on that?
I'm sorry, what about it, Alan? What about
there was an article,
yeah, so
there was a whole article about the European Union objecting to the use of AI.
Objecting?
Yes. So that
I am not aware of it. I am not aware of that. It would be a good question for our legal advisors, and they will give us a better perspective.
I'll see if I can find that article and send it on to you.
Please, sure. I'll share it with the legal team.
Okay, thank you.
Indeed, no problem.
I think I have that article. We were just talking about ethical ways of using AI. That's pretty much what it's about.
It's good to be aware. I'm glad he's bringing that up now.
I'll look for the article and send it on to you.
Thank you so much, Alan.
Will do. That's
only in Europe, right? The whole European Union?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's the European Parliament or something like that. They're trying to restrict the use of the AI in certain areas.
Is it concluded, or is it just a discussion in the Parliament?
I think the discussion at the moment. Nothing's been passed at the moment.
Okay. I want to learn more. Yeah, definitely. I want to know why and all that. It's good to learn, definitely.
Okay, I'll see if I can find it and send it on to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Alan. Great question. My beautiful China cabinet sister, Diane.
Can I get a hello? Hello, Chris.
Mr.
Good to see you, brother.
Hello. Thank you for a nice
Looking
Father's
sharp.
Day. You know what? I'm sexy because I'm a founder. That makes all of us
Yes, you are.
sexy.
You're sexier. You used to be, but now sexier. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another word you're going to make up. We got what the passive airs. What's sexy airs? We're all the sexy airs now, I think. All right.
We'll talk after midnight. That's a hot topic.
All right.
Hi, Ash. Hi, guys.
Back to business.
Good to see you, Karina.
Always
right.
good to see you. Thank you.
Diane, go ahead with your question, Diane, and don't say China cabinet.
Okay, Chris, you are sexy though. Hi, my name is Diane. I am from Abbotsford, British Columbia. Nice to see you again, Ash. I hope you and your family are all well. Kind of a two-part question. I don't know if you're aware, but it's game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals in Florida, Tampa Bay, So anyway, it's kind of leaning towards what I'm getting at. I hope to, once the apples start flowing, and to sponsor youth sports teams and stuff. I think kids are the future, so I want to help them in school and sports in many ways. So can I, as part of Onpassive, sponsor a team using the Onpassive logo and onpassive.com, or do we have to get approval through corporate? And also, if, like last year, we had huge flooding in our town. I couldn't even get home for 10 days because our 3 main roads were washed out. But if I have a group of people wearing Oh Bless t-shirts and we're helping out with all the flooding victims and things like that, can we somehow take pictures, and is there a site that we can post it to just to help bring awareness to Oh Bless and Onpassive? Is there going to be a specific place that we can put that kind of thing?
Very good point. In fact, Onpassive, Dan, is already sponsoring, I could see, just within the next couple of months, 2 major events at a global scale, okay? And therefore, it's not a bad idea to allow those who are partners with us, like yourself, that want to sponsor. So it's a very good idea. But it does make sense that we should screen the process or have approval, because of what we know, always it could be abused, okay, unfortunately. So I think let me see what we should put up together on our side as a company and make it almost as seamless. We are advocates, obviously, of any good cause, and coming from you, we don't even question it. And it just, so we can set the proper theme for, upcoming events and all of that, instead of before we get into a fiasco mode. I would definitely get back with you. Let's discuss if we just make a page, like you submit something and we endorse it. We will obviously support what we can do from our side. Very good point. I encourage, obviously, we would love to have our name associated with all the good stuff that we believe in, our principles anyway. But we just want to make sure it doesn't get mixed up with the, I would say, questionable images or concepts.
Yeah, like roller derby or something like that.
What came to my mind goes back to my discussion with Chris, like a while ago. I was invited to something, and don't judge me, okay? But I thankfully we knew what it is before we get in. So we were at a hotel, let's be clear, with my wife, and there are babies involved, okay, in somewhere, and we saw a crowd, and our reservation lined up with another event happening at the same time, and we got excited and we rushed in. We're almost going to the venue. There's some good music and all of that. Just in time, we realized what was the convention: sex toys and models, and so we don't want Onpassive to be in that event. I mean, that's where my head went to. So it can be uglier, yeah, or something we don't believe in. So we just want to know where we're going, like where's the logo, where we are. But thankfully, we just got in time before we walk into and see an ugly scene there before.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Mr. Mufareh. Up next is our beautiful sister from Michigan, Joyce Hicks. Joyce, if you would please unmute your mic.
Thank you, Julie. Hello, Ash. And